You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking. You're always looking for and finding the good. We have good in abundance, amazing, transformative being joining us today. She is truly a light in my life and in the life of millions of people around the world, and just you're going to be lit up with happiness and joy and peace and love and all kinds of wonderful things. And thank you for tuning in to the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore. And you know that on this show, we discuss the three fundamentals of life. And when you follow these three fundamentals, your life will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? And at this very moment, by the way, I just want to let you know, you're joined by over 348,613 people around the world. And you tuned in for one reason and one reason only. And that's the best reason in the world, because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U. Now, then in this case, that's very good, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony. You create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And we do want it and need it. You are needed. So the three fundamentals of life are, of course, number one, life. Your life has purpose. And when you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. In this case, a good number two. You go mad. And MAD is an acronym that stands for make a difference. You lead a purpose-driven life. You make a difference in the world. And number three is to unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. Right now, people all over the world are watching and listening through the magical, mythical, mystical platform called the internet. If you ask anybody, what does www stand for? Invariably, it has something to do with the internet. And factually speaking, they're correct. But in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, www stands for, drum roll, fanfare, da-dun, da-da. What a wonderful world. And what is a word, right? W-H-A-T-A. What a wonderful world. Now, of course, it's hard to hear that song, What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, Satchmo. Thank you for doing this. Going around the world and touching not just tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. And you can't listen to even the opening bars of What a Wonderful World without smiling. Now, smile is one of the greatest words you can ever internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life, because smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now, immediately when I say this, I speak to lots of groups. And recently, it was a group of 5,200 people. And I mentioned about seeing miracles in life every day. People raise their hands and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. I haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water, drink, food to eat, a place to sleep, family, friends? Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the simplest proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or you're listening, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live life to the full, to live exuberantly, as you'll hear from our amazing guest, wonderful Rachel. The ability to be able to be alive and to live. So I'll give you a story. Thank God, we have over 330,000 people every single show, and you're inviting your friends. By the time Rachel comes on, we'll have over probably 355, maybe 360,000 people. Imagine standing up in the morning, hale and hearty, able to leave tall buildings, and that evening be in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed. Not an automobile accident, not a spinal injury, a rare disease I never heard of the day before, took over my body and rendered me something called a quadriplegic. Nothing on my body moved, my neck down, completely paralyzed. 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't turn over by myself. I was 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles, and that was progress. Today, thank God, I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand, but I still can't. I'm a triped. I'm not a biped. I can't walk up a stair by myself. I can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, all because of that one word, smile, seeing miracles in life every day. I got to tell you a quick story. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago. She says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile? S-M-I-E-L. And I thought about it. Smile sounds the same. I said, why not? I asked her, how come? She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life. An 8-year-old out of the mouth of babes. What was she doing? She was creating the kind of world she wants to live in. CREATE is a wonderful acronym that stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. It's your thoughts. You control the way you think. The 6 most important words you'll ever utilize and internalize and leverage in your life are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. So before we bring on Rachel, I just want to warn everybody in the audience, new people, I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word because of the shock value, and it's fun. Now, the 4-letter words that I use, of course, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, grow, free, gift, pray, play, swim. 4-letter words, right? And the 4-letter FU word is fun. F-U, capital N, capital N. Now, right away, some people saying, hey, Barry Shore, fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Not in our world. The world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Fun is spelled F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and friends. You have a twinkle in the eye, a smile on your face. Remember, this stands for, point your finger, say, F-U, everybody. But add right away, capital N, capital N. So where'd you get that? So I listened to The Joy of Living with Barry Shore. He wants to teach the world to F-U. Capital N, capital N. So before Rachel comes on, I just want to urge everybody to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day for the rest of your life. That's right, the rest of your life. These 2 most powerful words in the English language are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and network kindness. The Dalai Lama is quoted saying, I read in his writing, be kind whenever possible. And he said, it's always possible. Imagine you go in the coffee shop, you order a fancy latte, you sit down, somebody brings it to you, you say, thank you. You walk in the coffee shop, you order a fancy latte, a couple of minutes going, nobody brings it to you. You say, you go to the counter and say, oh, I'm sorry, we're busy. You forgot, we'll bring it to you. Sit down, a couple of minutes, somebody brings it, you still say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop and it's raining out. Somebody holds the door open for you. You say, thank you. You're walking out of the coffee shop, it's raining out. Somebody slams the door on you. You say, thank you. You're in traffic, late for an appointment. Somebody cuts you off and you say, thank you. You get up in the middle of the night and you stub your toe and it hurts. You say, yes, thank you. To harmonize and network kindness. Kind is an amazingly powerful word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds that I am honored to share with you than the remarkable, wonderful, fabulous Rachel McCord. Rachel, please say hello to 368,000 people around the world.
Wow. Well, hi guys. Welcome. And thank you for having me, Barry. You are such a light. I've just been sitting in the green room, virtually being uplifted, inspired, and touched by everything that you've said. It's just so amazing. I love to say that you're my favorite BS.
That was very good. That's true. My initials, hello, I'm her favorite. Now, when was the last time anybody said F-U to you and you laughed? You know, F-U, capital N, capital N.
Say thank you whenever anything happens. Not very
I
often.
dig that. I am your favorite BS. Oh my gosh, we are rocking and rolling. So I'm not exaggerating when I say Rachel she does keep inspiring noble deeds. If I started telling you all the things that she does and who she is and such, I'd take the rest of the show. But I'm just going to highlight a few things, because if you've in any way are on social media, you know who Rachel McCord is. She's not just a celebrity. She's a celebrity entrepreneur. She's a best-selling author. I know. I love her book, Slay the Fame Game. Hello. Amazon Live producer. Hello. TV host. I want to just also mention that she's been dubbed as the supermodel who has turned into super mogul. And it's really important, not just because she is a super mogul now, but it's because she comes from humble beginnings, which we'll talk about a little bit in right after I finish this. And imagine going from a trailer park with her sisters, also somewhat famous people, and coming into the celebrity of Hollywood and all the fame that goes with that and all the pressures of fame and fortune, and then being able to share a stage with somebody like First Lady Michelle Obama and still be in love with life. How does she prove it? She's happily married. She has almost a 2-year-old son. And that's why she's a model. That's why she's a model for life. Let's just jump in right away and talk about something that really inspires me, wonderful Rachel, because we know each other now for years. I want you to talk about for people, especially young women, but of all men and women around the world. We have people listening from everywhere. Let's talk about building something based on your calling. What is it that called you and enabled you to build no matter your background?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that question. So, I think that when we start out on our journey, whether we're working for someone, we're working for ourselves, or we're trying to figure out something in between, it's really challenging and it can be very scary to find your way. And I think feeling lost and feeling the self doubt that comes with growing up wherever you did, whether you come from a successful family and you feel the legacy and the pressure that that carries, or you come from a lifestyle of lack and thinking negatively without even realizing that that's your go-to. I know many people who think that they think positively, and I'm always that friend who's like, I'm going to be the friend who challenges you a little bit and challenges the way that you think a little bit, because I have been that person so much, And I want to tell you a story, Barry, and I think that it's a story that most people can relate with. When I started my brand, I was just doing everything I could. I knew that I wanted to do something of purpose when I built the McCord List. It was my second company. I had built my first company, and I just kind of stumbled into it from working with some massive resorts like the Wynn and Cosmopolitan in Vegas. And I had done a lot in this scope of events and transitioning from Hollywood into entertainment and how to understand the business of entertainment and why things work. Why do you have celebrities who gets brand sponsorships, and how do the inner workings go? So I was working really hard, and I started my first company, and I realized into it that I wasn't passionate about it. And I think that was the beginning of me deciding to work in purpose-based businesses, and also to think about things differently, to think about things from a perspective of my why. Because oftentimes in life, I can't imagine what you've gone through, Barry, and the day by day effort that it has taken you to overcome what you've overcome. And for all the people, all the doctors and nurses who probably said that you would never walk again, you would never swim, one of your 4-letter words, it's massive and it's huge. And I think it comes into your passion, tapping into your why with the joy of living. And for me personally, I knew that my why was to make purpose of my pain. I had gone through a lot of trauma. I think of trailer parks and I think, wow, that's like not that big of a deal. I think it was the trauma that got me, that locked me up a little bit. And, I still have those moments, right, where I'm running and I'm shooting for the stars and I fail, right? And I think by the world standard, fail looks like you didn't get it. It didn't happen. But for me, I would tell you I've never failed. Have I lost money? Have I fallen apart? Have I cried in the floor of my bathroom? Absolutely. And does it still happen even though I run 9 different companies? Absolutely. But I believe that every quote unquote failure is actually an opportunity for God to speak to you, for you to grow into something that you were meant to be. And when I was building the McCord list, I knew that I wanted to bring purpose of that pain. I had read over 1,000 self-help books. I had worked so hard to heal myself enough to even get up to bat, like even just to get through the trenches, to show up on the court. Like I had worked so hard, and I was like, I'm just not okay with just this being a waste of money in my therapy and time and reading and trauma. Like there has to be a reason why this happened, and there has to be a reason why I learned about positive thinking and I learned about changing my world around, and I have to make a purpose out of it. And so I wanted to make sassy self-help. I wanted to do self-help with high heels and lipstick. And so I started focusing on an industry that I was very familiar with, which was Hollywood. And I started loving up and encouraging influential people in media. We built one of the largest influential media communities called the McCord List, where we would host photo shoots. We would be sponsored by different brands. And it was an opportunity, honestly, for me to earn the ability to encourage people who needed it most. And most of the time when people are in entertainment, they are seen as a queen, as the boss babe. You've got it all together. There is no space for failure. There's no space to acknowledge the anxiety that comes with the pressure. And they often live very isolated. Now, if you take that out and you think about how my brand has built, but mostly how I've transformed who I help, we realize we all feel like that. Who doesn't feel isolated by anxiety? Who doesn't feel the self-doubt that comes with the pressure? I can't fail. I can't go back to the trailer park, or I can't go back to my successful parents or friends and say, I didn't do it. I'm not like you. I'm not enough. There's so much pressure that goes into that. And I believe that every step of the way, I have my 5. It's my 5 people that I do all of this for. In every interview, on every stage. I know you're out there, you guys. I know there's 5 of you at least. And right now you are close to giving up. And I'm here to tell you that I've stared suicidal ideations in the face. I've stared depression in the face. I've stared anxiety in the face, and fear and self-doubt and trauma. And it's not because I am anything special. I believe that everything that I've gotten through is because of my faith in God. But honestly, I'll tell you right now, you are stronger than you realize. And it transitions from personal to business and everywhere in between.
First of all, thank you. That's one of my 3 thank yous today, right? Let's say the word wow. WOW stands for words of wisdom, words of wonder. I want to unpack a few pieces there. I especially am touched by my 5. See, because it's too easy to, I'm speaking to a group and everybody knows me. I'm an influential person. I have millions of followers, et cetera, et cetera. My 5. There are 5 people who suffer what I call SAD. SAD is stress, anxiety, and mild depression.
Yeah.
Everybody, you just heard Rachel say, one of the most, in quotation marks, but real, successful people in the planet today, saying, hello, that's life. That's life. Now, the question is, what do you do with it? So she's approaching it with 2 words, joy and why. Joy stands for journey of you. Rachel just told us a part of her journey of you. You're on this journey. The genius of it is, as she says, faith in God. That's your fig tree, faith in God, is you find your why. Now, why can stand for, and this is who she is, winners help wisely. That's what Rachel is doing right now. We're using the why as why. Why winners help wisely. Because when you are encouraging others to recognize that things like stress, anxiety, doubt, lack in your thoughts, those are real. But guess what can happen? Shift happens. Now you're going to like this, wonderful Rachel. Ready?
Yeah.
Shift happens. I don't know why, Rachel, but a lot of people drop the F in shift and the other stuff happens.
I don't know either.
You got to keep your F and F in place. Shift happens when you listen to what Rachel just said. She found her why, and she's able to build and keep building and keep building, and recognizing that with faith in God, all things are possible. And what she's doing is not just amassing businesses and making money, which is necessary, by the way, so you can continue to feed my five around the world. But what she's doing is she built things on such a firm foundation that she is attractive to people, not just physically, which she is, let's be blunt, but she recognizes the law of attraction. Law, when people hear the word law, Rachel, they think, oh, the police, oh, like this, right? Law. It's the other way. Rachel lives law, love and wisdom. Love and wisdom. That's who she is. So these are the pieces that you've used to build around your calling and build businesses and influencing other people. I want to speak about some people that are really close in your five, and that is at least two of them that I know. One is your husband, Rick, and the other is your son, Jude. By the way, I thought of a nice acronym for Jude: Joy Unbounded Daily Excitement.
Oh my gosh, I am writing that one down. That is so my son.
Joy Unbounded Daily Excitement. Is that not him?
That's like, we literally start the days off where Rick and I, my husband, we come in his room and we're like, mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy. And he's like jumping up and down. It's so cute. So yes, there is tons of excitement in our house. My husband was definitely a little bit of my first. I have two boys. I keep up with both of them as much as I can. And they have the same amount of energy. So it is a blast.
Yeah.
I'm told that you have the most energy of your entire life when you're 3. I can't believe that because my husband runs circles around me and my son runs circles around everyone, running circles around running circles. And I'm like, you're not even 3 yet. So, like, say some prayers for me in about a year and a half.
The better news is it gets better and better. By the way, I am emphasizing, I'm going a little bit into your private life, but I am emphasizing marriage and child, maybe God willing, children. The point is, in today's world, it is unfortunately uncommon for what we call successful, especially female, involved in celebrity, to have a real marriage with children or child and children and be able to integrate them all. Let's not call it balance, let's call it harmony. To be able to know that these are all necessary parts of what true success is. Because if it's counted in digits in a bank account, or how many cars in a garage, or how many, my garage holds 30 cars. Well, mine holds 68. And that doesn't even enter into real life. So the ability for you to be a model, not just in the business success, but in the model in the life success, is what I find to be one of the most attractive, essential aspects of Rachel McCord. So we don't have to speak that much more about the family, but I just want to make everybody aware that this is choice for Rachel. Remember the 6 most important words that you'll ever internalize and utilize. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. She chose to be married. Unfortunately, a lot of women are choosing not to and thinking that career is far more important. And I think that you standing in the breach and saying, you can balance, you can have harmony. Don't think that they're at odds. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. And not just that, but to be honest with you, especially working and living in LA, I've felt the stress and the pressure of constantly needing to prove yourself. You're in Hollywood, you're only worth as much as your last photograph will sell for. So, it's the land of fair weather friends. So, I feel like the gift of all that God's given me is my family, because it empowers me to have something that's so stable. And you mentioned foundation. It feels very foundational to me. That gives me the energy to go out and tackle the no's that I face, right? And we all face no's. And I have so much understanding because my first company I started as a single woman, and I was just trying to do whatever I could to pay my bills and to make a better life for myself and for my future child, which I knew I wanted to have one day. And then to be able to have met Rick and him be this entrepreneur who I not only feel encouraged by, I feel complete life success by. I love that you use that term, but I also get to do it with him. I think, for a lot of my friends, I've seen them struggle with having a partner who really supports them and stands behind them and beside them. And, I believe that there is this opportunity for couples everywhere to dance on the stage of life together. That's what my husband said before we even met. He said, I always dream of having a wife that I could dance on the stage of life with. And that's what he and I get to do. We get to dance on the stage of life together. We get to tackle business meetings together. We get to divide and conquer. And I think that there's something really powerful in that. I came from a broken home, like so many of us, so sadly. And, I struggled a lot with respect and all those different things because I became a very independent woman. I started working when I was 13 years old, and I call it working. It was really grinding. Like I would put, like, my boss couldn't even afford me, so I'd clock out and keep working because I wanted to learn as much as I could. And I feel like there was a point in my life where I realized, I am a little bit imbalanced. I'm lacking a little of that harmony. I've got to make sure that I'm pulling Rick into my world in the best possible way. And, those learnings are the things that you get in relationship, right? Those ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. And I feel like any relationship that can last at any point, and, Rick and I have been together almost 10 years, and that's not very long, but in LA world and budding years, that's like a lifetime. But just hitting big milestones in our relationship, you realize there are some moments where one or both of you change and evolve, and finding yourself together in that is so important. And sometimes it's so challenging, right? Because how you started is not who you are if you're growing, if you're evolving as a person. And I think the beautiful thing is that you choose to commit and you hold on to that commitment when the feelings are challenged, right? And then you just find extra ways to come in tighter together. And we believe in therapy and connection and looking at our lives as a partnership in every way.
So I'm going to explain, first of all, a big thank you and bravo on 10 years of marriage. My wonderful wife and I, Naomi, we're married 45 years.
Wow.
And yes, talk about ebb and flow.
bet.
I'd like to share this idea. You talk about my 5, which is true. They're out there. Let's call them now my 10 also, because these 5 are married. And my 10 from Rachel, encouraging you that, things are going to be there. Challenge is constant. The more things change, the more they stay the same. But the genius of challenge is it's a challenge. Wow, look what we get to do. In other words, facing the reality of the challenge brings you into a greater recognition of the Creator, a greater recognition of what love, which I call living on vibrant energy, living on the vibrational plane, that love evolves and it's a giving process. Matter of fact, we talk about the joy of living, the name of this podcast. By the way, got to interrupt myself again. Everything you want to know about Rachel, everything, just go to my site, www.whatawonderfulworld.barryshow.com. All the links and information will be there about all the things that she's doing, because she's doing stuff for people to encourage, to bring hope, to bring benefit to people all over the world. It is truly remarkable. And that's why I'm humbled and honored that she's here. But I just want to tell people, because we're going to actually, can't believe this, we're going to go to break. We have sponsors that love us, that love to be on the show. And I'm just going to leave everybody with a cliffhanger, because when we come back, we're going to ask Rachel to give us 3 concrete steps to getting unstuck. And we're also going to talk about this remarkable process that she's building called the McCord List for fashion and beauty and gaining an MBA. So don't go away, because there's more Rachel on the other side of this brief break. We love you. Stay with us. Be well. Imagine the kind of place you would want to shop for your favorite fur baby pet. HonestPets.co. Well, you found it. HonestPets.co, not .com, .co. This is your go-to spot for the best, the cleanest pet treats that exist anywhere on the planet. All of the brands go through a rigorous review to make sure they meet the high standards of cleanliness, health benefits, and naturalness. This site was started by a husband and wife team, and it's veteran-owned, and that care about pets, especially dogs and cats, and coming soon, bird treats. These are very nice young people who really care about making a difference, because a portion of proceeds go to support veteran organizations with a focus on service dogs. This is the place where you want to go. You want to tell your friends. This has the finest, yummiest, freshest, all-natural treats and stuff for your fur baby. So go there, honestpets.co. honestpets.co. Do it now. Hello, everybody. As you may know, I'm 72 and recovering from being a quadriplegic at age 55. Oh my. Now, to stay active, I swim 2 miles per day, 6 times per week. So you can imagine I know a thing or two about aches and pains. And until recently, I thought my aches and pains were a fact of life I had to deal with every day, just part of the process of getting older and staying active. And then I tried 100% drug-free Relief Factor. Now, I've been taking their convenient packs 3 times a day, and I got to tell you, everybody, I am feeling noticeably better. Relief Factor is giving me more oomph and less The secret is its 4 key ingredients. Each one supports a different metabolic pathway that your body uses to respond to the inflammation that is the cause of many hip, back, shoulder, and knee pains. If you have everyday aches and pains too, remember, Relief Factor is 100% drug-free and designed to be taken every day so you can get out and stay out of pain. Now, to make it as easy as possible for you to try Relief Factor, they created the 3-week quick start discounted program for $19.95. That's it, $19.95. So do what I did. Go to relieffactor.com/joy and order a 3-week quick start for yourself. You'll be glad you did. Again, claim your 3-week quick start for only $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com/joy. You'll thank me. You'll be glad you did. Best wishes. Bye now. Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Remember, you're good-looking because you're always looking for and finding the good. We have found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. A person named Rachel McCord, the powerhouse that is a giver. She is definition of giver. We spoke about a number of wonderful things in the first part. You should listen again. You want to share this with at least 5 people. That means over 1.5 million people will be watching and listening to this, and you'll be transformed. Rachel is going to share with us now 3 steps to getting unstuck, because let's be blunt, everybody gets stuck somehow. Wonderful, Rachel. 3 steps to getting unstuck.
Yes. So we built a formula actually around my personal journey, and it's the ABR formula. I know you're going to like it. You're going to probably put a word around it. But A stands for affirming. So you've got to start affirming what you want in your life. That is your roadmap. That is your pathway. It's how we start thinking about what we want to see, and we start being able to see it, right? Be good looking for the good. That's what it's about. It's actually looking out into your life and seeing what you would like like to have and affirming that for yourself. The next piece of it that's so important is believing. So the B is for believing. You need to believe that it's possible, believe that you can do it. This is where you got to really tap into that comfort being uncomfortable, which is challenging, but you got to do it. And the way you do that is by believing it. Even if it doesn't feel right, even if in the beginning it's a challenge, you just got to believe. And the last one is the part most of us skip, you guys, and this is the most important part. It is to receive. R is for receiving. So you can affirm it, you can believe it, and you can receive it. And Barry, you know I have something special for you. This is actually, so we do a lot of different courses with our programs. We have our Launchpreneur company where we're helping entrepreneurs grow and scale. We kind of dump out their business on a table and we tell them what's going on and how we can help them. And sometimes it's just a plan, right? We give them the plan and say, you're already doing all these things. You're just missing this piece, and this is a costly piece to miss. So we do that with Launchpreneur, and with the McCord list, we do the same thing, but we have a very, very niche focus on fashion and beauty because I run Magic, which is the largest fashion trade show in the world. So we take what we've learned on the stages with all my celeb friends and all of our influencers and industry experts, and we package it into programs to help fashion and beauty influencer types, also entrepreneurs, really scale their business. But what we do is we start everyone with the ABR formula. We tell them, don't even start looking at your business until you can look at yourself first. So Barry, anyone who comes from your audience, we're going to offer them this absolutely free. I want them to learn this. It's changed my entire life. I'm telling you, from poverty to celebrity lifestyle. Like, I have definitely practiced these things every single day until they got so natural to me that I do them all the time. And I encourage my team to do them because we're only as strong as our weakest link. So we've got to look around us at those 5 and see who we can help. So using the ABR formula, if you didn't fully get it or you want some deeper dives, literally come through and we will share it with you complimentary to all of your audience, Barry.
Beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal being, Rachel McCord. Affirm, believe, receive. You're right. That last part is really fascinating because I know a number of people that begin to affirm, and people start believing. There's always that little self-doubt that people have, but we know how to push that aside. But it's sometimes difficult for people to receive the goodness that they really want. They think they're not worthy. Yeah. You've experienced that either for yourself or you know people in your world. Even if, by the way, even in the world of celebrity, some of the most fragile egos in the world.
Very true. Very
because they've not been able to receive and say, excuse the expression, I'm an imposter. Yes. And there's a syndrome called imposter syndrome.
Yeah, it's a big one. I struggle with that. In so many seasons of my life, feeling like a fraud. Why am I here? I remember the first big event I went to was the Nobel Awards, and I'm sitting at the same table as Morgan Freeman, Jessica Simpson, Amy Poehler's over here, and I'm just like, I don't understand who let me in here.
Why am I here? Right.
Why am I here? Are you Morgan Freeman is here? I'm in the wrong place. So I think it's pretty epic to acknowledge that imposter syndrome. I'm so glad that you brought that up.
Well, thank you for being you. 3 ways to get unstuck. ABR, ABR. And I'm her favorite BS, so you can certainly believe that. By the way, I'm going to do a little bit of how should we say it? Not so much name dropping, but it is something, inside baseball stuff that's just fun because of you. So Rachel and I met because she generously donated her time and her expertise to a project that I was working on, raising money for the American Cancer Society. And we decided to not just raise money in the regular way, we did it in a creative way. And we have built a script, and it was it was filmed professionally and such. And the star of literally a short movie is Rachel McCord. Now I'm going to just thank God we raised money. We did very well, and it's very well done. I think it still lives on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. But the interesting thing is, we had over 500,000 people watch that show. It was that good. And that was years ago, wonderful Rach, remember? And then we sat together at the gala banquet that they had for honoring such. And it was there that Rachel first mentioned to me. I asked her, well, what does she want to do later in life? You know, she's only kid. And she mentioned to me about the fashion and beauty MBA program. And it was a germinating idea at the time.
Yeah.
She was still just married a few years, didn't have a child yet, and now she's done it, you see, because she lives what she just told us. She affirmed something. She believes. And as we know, Napoleon Hill wrote, if you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. And then she was able to receive. So she says, she's sitting at a table and she's not bragging. She's saying, Morgan Freeman sitting here today. I'm here. Yes, because she was able to receive, not so much, hey, you know, look, no, I am. It was that, oh, I can receive this. Okay, I'm here. And she get unstuck. ABR, unstuck yourself. You can have shift happen. Remember to pronounce that F, shift happens.
Unstuck yourself and have shift happen. That's so good. You better not have a hiccup with any of those words, because you might get
shift happen. You got to shift your perspective. Keep your F and F in place. I want to also mention, I just, during the break, I came up with a nice acronym for Rachel. May I read it to you?
Oh my goodness, please. I'm so excited.
Rachel, remarkably active, causing hope, enthusiasm, and love.
Oh my goodness. What? That is so sweet. I am going to put that everywhere in my life.
Is that you? I mean,
it's very kind. I will receive that with a big capital R. How about that?
Outstanding. By the way, I want to unpack for people, because again, we have worldwide audience. So when we say the word magic, so people think of magic. By the way, one of the nicknames that Rick and Rachel have for me is Gandalf. That's another story. So let's talk about Magic, the show, because I know it's so important for anybody who's involved with clothing, i.e. fashion or beauty. The Magic show in Las Vegas is not just a show. It is the premier showcase for every important brand in the world. And the fact that you're running this now, you know, when we're not talking about, gee, I work there. You're one of the driving forces of Magic, which is, again, the premier place in the world that tens of thousands of people exhibit at, and millions and actually billions of people around the world are influenced by, because what happens in Magic spreads throughout the world. That's the magic of Magic. So please give us a brief tour of what it means, that what you're doing with Magic and what Magic is in the world.
Yes, what a great question. So first off, you have hundreds of thousands of brands who have exhibited at Magic and continue to twice a year in February and August. And we are able to host all of these brands in their exhibitor booths to pitch their products for the upcoming season to fashion buyers. So let's say that you're wearing a jacket and it's part of your collection. You would set up an entire beautiful booth. We have about 500,000 square feet of space, which takes up all of the halls at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is one of the largest convention centers in the world. It's massive. So we have different segments based on your price point. So, you know, Tom Ford is in one hall. Then you've got some fast fashion like Molly Bracken in another hall. It's all based on the price point. And fashion buyers from Neiman Marcus, from Saks, from Nordstrom, Fashion Nova, Amazon, they all come to the show and they walk the halls to make connections with and develop deeper relations with their brand partners. So they identify new collections that they would like to sell in their stores and on e-commerce. We also have tons of boutique owners who come out and shop the show. Some really amazing conversations have come from these powerhouses who run boutique brands, and they're all over the country. So it's very exciting talking to them because, you know, they've got something going. They've got a culture happening just like you and your audience. They have their own fashion audience of customers who come back and shop their boutique. So when they come to our show, they're carrying the pressure of making sure that they shop right so that when they see the next collection, the next season in their store, either it's online or brick and mortar, they have all the best products. So that's what Magic is. I run the stages. So I'm bringing in industry leaders, CEOs, celebrities, entrepreneurs, influencers, all to my stages. And I interview them on stage and learn about their business, learn about their success track. We learn about their failures, their quote unquote failures. We learn about all of the things surrounding their business. And you're going to hear from people in all different walks of life. You know, we have a lot of people who come to Magic, even if they're not exhibiting or buying, they're just attending, trying to learn more about the industry. They're in some capacity in the fashion industry. And I've been working with Magic for about 8 years now. And we have had such a fun ride. We've done photo shoot, road trips to Coachella. We've done brand sponsored events to Magic and a big party bus. We do a lot of really cool stuff with them. And it's honestly like my fashion Candyland little play box. Like I get to be creative. I get to be wild. I do 20 fashion outfit changes at the show. It's literally so much fun. And what's been so cool has been we've started to identify the questions that keep coming up in each of our Q&A panels. We're identifying the challenges that I get pulled aside to be asked following our events and the things that come up, right? Like those questions about how do I do this? What is this? What's about that? So we have been accumulating all this information and putting together this cohesive program specifically for fashion brands, beauty brands, because Magic has opened up beauty after the pandemic. And also these boutique fashion buyers, people who were just getting into the fashion industry don't really know how to monetize on it because it is a competitive industry. It's one of those places where people can be insanely successful if they have the right tool kit, they have the right formula and the right roadmap. So we work really hard to provide that to them the same way we work really hard to create the programming for each of our panels. I sit on with the board at the top of Magic, and we really sit together and we talk about what are the pain points? What do people need to know? We know the panels that sell out and we have standing room only. We know the ones that that people care the most about. And so I've really focused on that. So we've built out a process for these creative entrepreneurs to find their way. And I'm so passionate about it. I love it so much. It's such an honor. And I'm talking about thank you. Thank you, God. Like it is such an honor to get to walk down life with these entrepreneurs. I get so inspired. We do some one-on-one meetings. We do group accelerators where everyone comes out to Lake Las Vegas and literally learns about their business. We help them by letting them all walk away with a presentation deck. And this deck is designed to get them a sponsor, get them an investor, new customers. It's just the playbook for their business. We look at your customer, your competitor. We really focus on the business of it. A lot of times, if you're a model or you're an influencer, they are taught how to grow their following and how to be successful and how to do the runway walk and all of that. I don't teach any of that. I'm like, you are creative. I'm not coming in to help you be creative. I'm helping you to think about the business behind it, which is what I've been doing for years in Hollywood, working on the business of entertainment. And this is the business of fashion and beauty.
First of all, this is wonderful. And that's why, by the way, Rachel is known in the world of Magic as Dr. McCord. I'll tell you why. She mentioned the word pain. People have to know that when you look at celebrity and fashion and beauty and all of that, you don't see the pain. There is deep pain that enables birth to happen. And let's be very blunt, right? Giving birth is a painful process, but the pain is so worth it because you look at the result.
Yeah.
So Dr. McCord focuses on enabling people to understand that pain is positive if you can learn how to relieve it in a positive way, not with alcohol, not with drugs, not with pushing yourself in the unconscious, but to bring the subconscious to bear, to look at pain, face it, and understand that success is yours if you're willing to do the work. By the way, did you notice everything Rachel and I have been talking about? Work. She works very hard. She does work. She puts effort. It takes work. Did I emphasize that enough? It's a 4-letter word, work. She loves work. And when you love your work, you have a calling. Let's speak a little bit about something that I know that you enjoy a lot, and that is being an Amazon Live producer. So for the people, well, I guess I'm probably the only one in the audience that doesn't really know what Amazon Live is. I mean, I can imagine what it is, but tell us, what is Amazon Live, and what's the purpose for what you're producing with Amazon Live?
Yes. So Amazon Live has been giving QVC and the Home Shopping Network a run for their money. It is the new online live shopping platform, and it's integrated with their shopping through Amazon. So you can shop a show, which basically means you could be watching the content that you're watching here or listening to here, and underneath there are featured products going by that we can tap and then click buy now. So it is revolutionizing the way that we shop. Live shopping is huge. It's expected to wrap around 60 billion this year alone.
Wait a minute. That's all? This is Amazon.
Well, I'm just talking about live streaming in general. And so Amazon coming on board in the live space is really huge and very validating for a lot of my friends who are live creators, because they're seeing a lot of the biggest companies in the world coming on board and asking the question, how can I reach my audience live? And I think when you look at the creator, I believe he was in China, I'm trying to remember exactly, but he did one stream and generated $1 billion in sales in one stream, which was unbelievable. It's just so crazy. So you see the way that people love community, they love connectivity, they love to have conversations, and they love to shop while they do it. So it's having a best friend to shop there with you. Your audience can chat with you and tell you what they're wondering about and what they think. And when we first started doing a show on Amazon Live, we're really honored because we're one of Amazon's creators. So we've, met with them and had some amazing conversations from a strategic side with leadership and what they're really hoping to accomplish. It's been such an honor. But when I first started doing it, of course, I brought in all of our relationships with Magic. We did a show with Juliana Rancic from E! News and had a show about her product line, which was really fun. We've had Lala Kent, my sister has done it, of course, and a few other celebrities have come on my show. But, with all that we're doing on the entrepreneurial front, helping fashion, beauty entrepreneurs with the McCord list, and then actually helping general business entrepreneurs with Launchpreneur, we realized a bigger need to help these entrepreneurs identify the products that they need to be successful. Because as entrepreneurs, we have different products that help us be more successful, right? I have a vibe board that I use when I'm teaching, and I have my computers and my cameras and my lights because we're in a virtual world. So we actually talk about products now that are focused on your business. And that's been a fun shift because, it's all about identifying what your audience really wants. And I realized that my audience, they were all powerhouses. They were all entrepreneurs and they wanted support, identifying what they really needed, the tools that they needed, and not just to get everything and anything, because you don't want to start a new company or continue to scale a company with a bunch of debt and materialistic things you don't need to be successful. But if there are a few tools that you can use that can help you be more successful, you best believe I'm going to try them myself and then tell you all about them.
And again, everything you want to know that Rachel has available and giving from her being. See, when you receive, you also can be a giver as a receiver. She opens up the twin channels, unclogs the twin channels of giving and receiving. It's not one or the other. They work in tandem. They flow together. So Rachel unclogs both channels of giving and receiving. Now, I'm going to shock you, but can you imagine that our time is almost up? Ah!
It's been so fun. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for having me, Barry. And
well, let me see. We have a couple more minutes. I want to ask you 3 questions.
Okay.
Number 1, will you come back again?
I mean, absolutely. If you'll have me, I am here, honey.
Thank you. Thank you. Number 2, you have 80 seconds, only 80 seconds to answer this question. Wonderful Rachel McCord, what is your most fervent desire?
Wow. I would like to see the world removed of pain and suffering. I'd like to see children raised in homes where they're able to express their emotions, they're validated, and they learn how to be the same way for others. That's really important to me. And I know that what I'm doing right now in the scheme of that is small because there's so many pieces, but I believe we all have an opportunity to do that. Little by little, we can make a difference in our own homes. We can make a difference in the homes of people that we encounter. So the more that we can feel and express emotions, the more that we can feel and validate others' emotions. And I would like to see that for my world.
3rd question. May I give you a hug in front of 368,922 people around the world?
Absolutely. I thought you'd never ask.
Okay, so let's tell everybody what HUG stands for. Ready? HUG stands for Heartfelt Unlimited Giving. Heartfelt Unlimited Giving. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, you're awesome. And you're right on pitch.
Everybody's listening. You're listening to The Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, and our remarkable transformative being named Dr. Rachel McCord. And you've been listening to, of course, you're here because you care the most in the entire world about you. And that's great because when you're the best you possible, as Rachel said, my 5, when you're the best you possible, you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And you know that if we live with the 3 fundamentals, number 1, your life has purpose, as Rachel's been saying. Number 2, like her, you're a mad person. She's a mad woman. Go make a difference. That's what MAD stands for. Number 3, to unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms like WWW. What a wonderful world. And when you live these 3 fundamentals, you become happier, healthier, and wealthier. And who doesn't want that? And you learn to create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking, enabling all to ourselves. She said, rethinking, ABR, affirm, believe, receive, and learn how to smile. SMILE stands for seeing miracles in life every day. As my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Learn to use 4-letter words. But in our world, the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, those 4-letter words are love, life, hope, free gift, as Rachel's giving, a free gift. Pray, play, swim, and tell the world, F you, capital N, capital N. Use that shift. Remember to pronounce the F, and tell the world, capital F you, capital N, capital N. So after the show, people say, what are you talking about? We say, well, Barry Shorts, they want to teach the world to F you, capital N, capital N. And then you can use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day. From now for the rest of your life, you'll help you, your family, your friends, and all living beings. And these 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks stands for to harmonize and network kindness. To harmonize and network kindness. Kind, the essence. Rachel McCord, keep inspiring noble deeds with you and Rick and Jude, your 5, and your family and your friends and all living beings around the world, because our blessing from Rachel and Barry is go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad, go make a difference. Rachel, don't go away, okay?
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.